Okay, guys, aren't you glad we're friends? Welcome to my bedroom. I want to talk to you really quickly about dressing for cross-country skiing because it is different from alpine skiing and other outdoor Nordic sports, primarily because we exert a ton of energy and we get hot very quickly. So again, when I said that your athlete really needs to pay attention to the temperature, the level of humidity in the air, right? If it's a really moist day and it's cold, it's gonna feel really cold. Although in Alaska, we have more of a moderate climate here. So really, I'd say focus on temperature. And then also, what's their level of exertion for that day? Are they skiing with their little brother or sister, or are they racing? Because it is going to be different. I, for myself, only have a few pieces of gear that I invested a good amount of money in, and have lasted for years. And I have a system dialed in. I know that if it's 19 degrees and I'm coaching, this is what I'm going to wear, etc. Or if I'm racing, this is what I'm going to wear. So I'll start with what I have on right now. Oh, can we just clear the air here about cotton? Like, no, no more cotton. Your kid is going to get sweaty. Even if it's 19 degrees, they're going to get sweaty and they're going to get cold. And you've just taken a dish towel and gotten it wet and thrown it outside. And we all know what happens. It just becomes this contorted iceberg. That's going to be their sweatpants, and that's going to be their sweatshirt. For girls, if they're wearing a cotton sports bra, that's going to be their sports bra. No cotton, which kind of sucks because it's affordable, but nope. So what I have on right now, so today was 19 degrees. I was coaching skiing, so kind of running, but not really. It would be kind of akin to like maybe skiing with a younger sibling. So think of dressing for Nordic skiing in 3 layers. We have our base layer. Okay, so my base layer is smart wool. Get yourself some smart wool. And you can find it on sale often. Moose's Jaw and backcountry.com are websites that often have a lot of sales for smart wool. Hit the sales in the spring. Like in the spring, I am buying all of my clothes for next winter. I think I got this smart wool shirt. It's normally $110. I got it for $50. So again, just to put that out there in your mind for the future, smart wool is amazing. You can sweat like crazy and it dries. And it's wool, so it doesn't really stink. I can wear this shirt over and over and over again. Now you know the next time you see me that I probably haven't washed the clothes I'm wearing in a week and a half. That's gross, I know. But your kid can wear it over and over again. So this is a base layer. So this is going to be the next to skin that's going to directly absorb any sweat that comes off of me. I don't know what to say, it's gotta be wool. That's my personal opinion, okay? Particularly up here. Even my sports bra is wool. And I would definitely recommend for your daughters, consider getting a wool sports bra. Again, it's personal preference and what's comfortable, but it's the only material that's going to absorb that moisture and is going to stay comfy for hours at a time. On my bottom layer, I have 2 pairs of pants on. Let's see, these pants are I don't know what they're made out of. These are Sherpa pants. They're made out of wool, and so the front and the back are wool, and the sides is some synthetic blend. And I think that's really just for stability of the pockets. These pants are amazing. Again, they're I can wear them every day, everywhere, and they're warm. Know that your athlete, particularly girls, our butts tend to get cold when we're skiing, regardless of the activity that we're doing, because that's where a lot of our adipose tissue is, right? And that gets cold. So it's very helpful to get a scoop. I'm sure you've seen the lady skirts. Are we having fun yet? The lady skirts that cover your butt because they keep your butt warm, and it's nice, and you can ski in them. Again, they're an investment, but you can always resell them. You can find them secondhand, or you can pass them on to a sibling. Okay, so my base layer is wool and wool, okay? On top of that, I have these wind blocker pants. Yes, they say Alaska Pacific University. Don't tell Stan that I'm wearing another team's pants. Climb a Wind. These are the basic Swix model pants. So I'm sure you've seen all of the athletes running around in these Swix pants. When you feel them, you're like, these are really thin. What? This is not going to keep telling me don't wear sweatpants, but these are going to be better. No, these are. Essentially, you have your warm wool layer, and then you have a wind blocker on top, okay? This is going to give you the appropriate amount of ventilation for your body when you get really sweaty, because you don't want to keep all that in. You don't want your body to trap all that heat in. It will be able to escape, plus wind blocking, and it's super flexible and athletic. It's like wearing yoga pants. It's not that bulky stuff. And if you fall, which you will, you're not going to get like a big wet spot soaking through, like if you were wearing sweatpants. So bottom layer, I tend to do the base layer of wool and then a windproof something on top. Now, if I'm racing, I'm going to do a bottom layer, base layer of wool, and then the race spandex. So you guys have seen all the racers in their spandex, right? They're wearing wool underneath more often than not. So they're actually pretty warm. Socks, wool. I have like 10 of these socks. I love them. I'll even sometimes keep them in that bucket downstairs with the gloves, just in case my feet get wet or sweaty and I need to switch them out. Okay, so base layer on top, and then I like a mid layer. Again, this is depending on what I'm doing. If I'm gonna be racing or skiing with the team, I'll maybe just wear this and just go like this. If I'm racing, I'll probably wear just the spandex suit on top, and then the wool and the bottom pants. But it's all trial by error. Your kiddo has to figure this out. But the vest is a fantastic way to keep your core warm. And again, and it's a puffy vest, but it's not that Supreme Loft. You know, it's something that's just very aerodynamic, and does not cause a lot of bulk or chafing or rubbing, because all of those factors are important in Nordic skiing. But it's going to keep my core warm, and also will allow my arms to vent. And it's something that I can easily just take off and like put on the side of the trail. Nordic skiers do that all the time. So far, nobody's ever stolen my gear. I don't know. And then I know if it's going to be really cold, I'm going to put a bulky coat on top. And I have a number of these. This would be like, something, this could be the coat that your kid wears back and forth to school. Or it could be the coat that, they wear to recess, or, it could just be one of those regular coats that you bought at Walmart. But know that if it's really puffy, they're not going to be able to ski. If it's really puffy, it increases the chance of trapping in too much heat, and also just being bulky and creating a friction burn. I mean, if you guys ever been running and then realized that the shorts that you loved were like the worst shorts in the world because they're fine at 9 miles, but 11 miles you have this horrible burn on the back of your thigh because the fabric has been rubbing there. It's just, think of it like that. I have a number of these coats that I've accumulated over the years, and I would just recommend that you kind of keep your closet stocked too, because everyone is different. So I've got like my spring skiing coat. I've got this is also a spring skiing. This is I won't go through my whole closet, but it's something that will keep you dry. This is an extra. This is the Omni Heat by Columbia. So really, this is generally what I wear if I'm teaching first-time adult skiers, because let's get real, when we're adults and we're learning to ski, we do a lot of standing around. And it all depends on what I'm doing and the temperature, which is why it's so important for your athlete to kind of have that dialed in. They should pay attention to the temperature before they go out to ski and make a mental note. This is what I wore today. Did it work? Did it not? The other thing to keep in mind is the hat versus the headband. I almost always, unless I'm racing or intending to train hard, I will always wear a hat. As you know, the majority of your body heat goes out through your head. It's true. If you're cold, put a freaking hat on. There comes a point in our skiing, actually around right now, where if one of my athlete shows up without a hat or an ear covering of some sort, they're not going to train with us. It's not worth risking hypothermia or frostbite. So keep a number of these hats in your car. The girls, the young ladies really like the headbands. Those work too. But again, if they're out there and they're like, man, I was so cold today, and you turn around and you look at them in the back of the car and they're wearing a headband, girl, you should have been wearing a hat. Gloves. Oh, I should have showed you my gloves downstairs. Gloves are a big one. I get this a lot with my adult master skiers. Not master skiers, with my adult skiers who've never cross-country skied before. They show up to the ski practice or to the ski lesson with like their alpine ski gloves. You cannot fit those things into the cross-country ski pole. Cross-country ski gloves, again, are built to be as warm as possible with the least amount of fabric possible, so that heat can escape, heat can stay in. A very popular style of gloves are the lobster gloves. They're the ones that will keep these two fingers together and these two fingers together, because the more fingers in a pouch, the more warm you can be, but yet you still have the 3 versatile limbs to be able to use. So that's a lobster glove, or just a regular mitten, a Swick. Again, Swix, Craft, Toko, those are all really good Nordic ski brands. If you get something, and most of those will have the temperature rating on them, I would definitely get, if your child is planning to race, I would definitely get them a glove that is thinner and even less, like I would never do a race in a lobster glove unless it was, unless it was the Tour of Anchorage and it was 0 degrees. Because the level of energy that you put out, you know, for the Tour of Anchorage is going to be less. You're not going to work up that anaerobic phase, and you're not going to sweat as much. So if your kid is doing the Bush Cups or doing middle school racing, they're going to want a glove that is not as heavy for that particular race. So again, if it's like 19 degrees and your kiddo's about to line up in a race and they have a thin liner on, and you're thinking that is not warm enough. Well, is the thin liner like made of wool and neoprene? Like if it is, then it is warm enough. So just look into that as well. Okay, guys. Oh, boys. It used to be back in the day, we would tell our boys before they go out for a race, because again, racing, you're wearing your race suit, that spandex suit, to put some duct tape on the front of their underwear, because going downhill, even if it's not windy out, you're still creating, a wind air like aberration, in front of you, and it's going to be cold. And that is not okay for the guys. You got to keep the guys warm. I know, so that used to be if you are ever in a pinch, put some duct tape on the front of on the underwear. Put it on the underwear. I actually had an athlete that put it on his guys directly. I know, don't tell him I told you that. Put it on the underwear. But I know now that they make like pants, like base layer pants for men that have an extra lining there to protect the boys. Or you can even get like race shorts that have an extra layer there to protect the boys. The boys, you know what I mean. Chapstick is always nice to have. If it's really, really, really cold, we'll usually put some kind of a tape on the athlete's nose and cheeks, just the fattier parts or the parts of the face that are exposed to wind, just to prevent any particular frostbite or to create an extra shield against any wind. But you guys don't need to worry about that. I think that was pretty comprehensive, guys. If there's something that you're not sure about and you want me to cover, let me know. But if you take those tips, you can go to AMH, you can go to REI, shop online, bookmark Facebook Marketplace. You can tag keywords so that you'll get notified. Just put Smart Wool into it, anytime. Hoarding Marmot is a secondhand store in Anchorage that has fantastic deals on really nice outdoor clothes. It's like a used, secondhand place. Definitely check that place out. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're gonna have a fun season. We'll talk to you later.